Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, Auntie.
Good afternoon. Sit. All right. Immediately we go into what we were doing last. What was the last that we discussed about? Okay. Now tell me, beta, did we leave any point behind, or we left out, not behind? Did we leave out any point on Alauddin Khalji? Did we leave? According to you, no. But I find
We confiscated land grants from the previous.
that was actually land grants were not hereditary. That means it didn't belong to that family. You earned it. If you were capable, if you were loyal, then you earned it, so it was given to you. During your life cycle, it's there with you till you are my noble. After that, it's taken away from you. It isn't permanent. So it was not even hereditary, it was passed to the son until the son was also chosen as one of the nobles.
I think we left the buildings he made
That we haven't, because he was a good architect, in the sense he was interested in architecture. So he got many Alai, Darwaza and all these buildings which were constructed during his rule. Plus there are other points in the book which are given. So one is construction of buildings. What else is given over there?
Auntie, about Amir Khusro, who is known for his contribution to literature.
Amir Khusro happened to be a court poet and a literary person who was actually in his rule. So all the things that he has written about him and the later rulers are because he was present in the courts. Alright, now we have reached which year, which is the year when he stops ruling? 1316. Now the next dynasty is actually coming to rule 1320. So who is the person who is here from 1360 to 1320? Only these people know. Why not the others, beta? I have put the timeline for you on your MS Teams. So why is it that, who do you think would be the next in line Sultan? Last is Alauddin Khalji. So who will come next? Gibran, who do you think will be the next ruler or Sultan? His son. So what is the name of the son?
He was the person who killed him.
No, Kekabad was after Balban. He was Balban's son. So who comes to power now? Beta, you people are not checking out who's coming. The next person who comes to power is his son, and he takes on the title Qutb-ud-Din Mubarak Shah. Okay, so from 1316 to 1320, you have his son. That is whose son? Alauddin Khalji's son, who turns out to be a weak person again, not very, let's say, very efficient in ruling. So again, somebody else who is a noble in the court of Alauddin Khalji, he will come and seize power. Seize power is not C-E-A-S-E, stop, it's seize. Seize means आप forcefully छीन लेते हो. You capture or take over. So who comes now?
Who takes the title of Ghiyasuddin?
And he was a provincial governor.
Under the Alauddin.
He was the provincial governor under?
Alauddin Khalji.
Okay. That means he was of a province. Provincial governor under?
Alauddin Khalji.
Okay, now he comes to rule and he takes on the title of? Okay, beta, now let's also focus on the Ghiyasuddin. Ghiyasuddin? Tughlaq. Let's focus on the questions also. Now, there are two people within your Delhi Sultanate who have taken the name of Ghiyasuddin. One is Balban and one is Tughlaq. Now, what if I give you a question to differentiate or to state what was the difference during the rule of Ghiyasuddin Balban and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq? Will you be able to write?
Yes, auntie.
Ghiyasuddin Balban ruled for how many years?
Auntie, he ruled for 31 years.
30, roughly 30.
21, sorry.
21 years, and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq rules for
4 years.
4 years. So likewise, when you know a little about Balban and when you know a little about Tughlaq, you will be able to write the difference. So while learning, please be careful that you are noting the points so that you are able to clearly distinguish if a question such as this is given. Okay? You can also have later on questions related to any two rulers. One could be of the Tughlaq dynasty, the other could be of Khalji dynasty. So how will you compare? You must know one and the other. Okay? For example, it's a very common question where they state two rulers who were very popular during that time. Alauddin Khalji, for all the reforms he made, and a person who was notorious. Notable and notorious. Notable is a person who's done well, and notorious is the person who made many mistakes. Who was he? The next in line when we'll talk about him is Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, so now Ghiyasuddin comes to power and there's not much written about him. What is written about him? That he happened to be the founder of the Tughlaq dynasty.
And he also founded the city of Tughlaq.
Tughlaqabad. And what origin, what kind of people were the Tughlaqs? Were they Afghans or the Turks?
Afghans.
They were called Turco-Afghans. Why? Because they originated in one place and they shifted out and then they entered India from that. So they are also called Turco-Afghans. In fact, I think there is a chart made in your book, beta. Page 21.
Yes, auntie.
If you could just use a pencil and write. The slave dynasty, basically Turks. So all of the members from Qutbuddin Aibak to Balban, they were all Turks. Then Khalji dynasty is Afghan. Then you move down to Tughlaq dynasty and they are called your Turco is this, Afghans. And the only difference being that they originated from here, but over the years their the ancestors had already shifted to Afghanistan and the regions around it, so they are called Turco-Afghans. Okay, now Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Besides starting and ruling for a few years, there's nothing much which is written. That means he comes to rule and not much into change of administration, not much into army consolidation or any other thing, till he is taken over by, who's the next? Son. Muhammad is M-O or M-U according to your book? M-U? H-A-M-M-A-D? Okay. Comes to rule in
1324 to 1351.
how many years?
27.
A long time?
Yes, auntie.
And plenty of time he got. Now, if you read about him, you will find that he was a son. He was a very educated person, very learned person. But unfortunately, after being a good commander-in-chief, after being an administrator, there was one quirky trait in him. Quirky is something strange. That he was too educated. And all his decisions actually were not very well planned or thought out. They always backfired. Do you understand the term backfire? That means हम करने कुछ अच्छा गए और गड़बड़ हो गई. So he has made some mistakes which have earned him the name of a wise fool. He was wise, but whatever he did actually was not so well planned, so it always would fail him or the entire experiment that he conducted. Now the first of the lot is, what is written in your book is,
Auntie, that he was a good, even an administrator, good administrator.
he was. Nobody is saying he wasn't.
Auntie.
But when he had to take a decision, then he would make a mistake. So his decision taking capability was not good because he wouldn't think of the future, aage kya hoga.
And he got ahead of that.
He thought ahead, but he didn't plan ahead. There also has to be a B plan. No.
And a good example of is when he changed the capital from Delhi to
Devagiri.
And he thought this was good because the Mongols were attacking Delhi. But since when he turned the change the capital.
Imagine I walk out of the class. Why? Because you're making too much of noise. And then what is the end result? That I am missing out on the entire period and you actually getting to do what you want. That is to keep talking to each other. So what he did was that he was ruling from which town, city in during that day? The Sultanate rulers were ruling from where? Who remember? No, say na.
What, Auntie?
What was the capital city of the Sultanate rulers? Who do you remember who shifted it from Kabul?
Shamsuddin.
Iltutmish. After that, all the rulers who are coming to power, the sultans, are ruling from Delhi. Now, Delhi is northmost of India. In fact, a little part which is northern side. So he thought that it is actually so open and the Mongols keep attacking. So instead of thinking in terms of rebuffing the Mongols in some particular manner, he thinks of shifting his capital. He thought जब राजा यहाँ नहीं बैठेगा तो अटैक नहीं करेंगे. What he does is in the peak, during the peak of summers, he takes the entire army, he takes the people who were there in the city of Delhi and tells them to move down to Devagiri. That is more central part of India. Bhari garmi mein.
And that was not only there was more than one reason. There were the southern part of India was undiscovered, and a lot of rich resources were also present there.
But beta, they were not the main resources that you required every day. They did not have something called perennial rivers. You are leaving behind fertile soil of northern part of India. You are moving every soldier, every army personnel and every person from Delhi down south in the during the summers, and then they don't have cars, and that time you didn't have something like this. So they were going walking, no? So if they are going to move from one end of your country to another, then they will of course need so much of material on the way that he didn't bother about. He just thought it in his mind that it's a good idea to move from A place to B, and then we'll be safe from Mongol attacks. So to evade them, he took the easy way out and he shifted the entire lot there. He reaches over there. Oh, the people don't have a proper water supply. Why? Because the rivers are not perennial. The land is still to be tilted and made fertile. You haven't settled the country, the region first. You have shifted everybody. It would be a good idea if we had developed it slightly, just as we are doing it nowadays. When we are wanting a new capital, then Amravati is coming up. So you are getting all the buildings, government buildings being made. So it's being developed. So if you're not developing and you're taking everybody and making a particular area as the capital, and you will take all these people and then you want it to get developed, then it can't happen. Because lots of people en route only, on the way itself, lost their lives. It was too hot. He reaches there, he finds, it's not so developed and it's not so, ready to have so many people staying over here. And Mongols, of course, happy enough. They've got an open area where they would come, loot and go back. So you have left it open. Now you have, it's an open door, like we'll sleep with our doors open, chori karni hai to kar lo. That type. So he left the northern borders absolutely unattended. And then he comes down to south, then he realizes, no, I made a mistake. He takes everybody back. So some people died on the way to Devagiri, some others died, not all, but others died when they were being taken back to Delhi. He shifts his capital once again. So first folly was shift of capital. Second, what is the second? Token currency. Do you understand token? Do you understand token? What do you understand by token? you come for your various this thing when you have no, I'm talking about the school. You have the fete, you have the dandiya night. Then you pay a certain amount of money and you are given token currency. That means you have already paid for it. The value is 5 rupees per ticket. That's your token amount. So anywhere you want to shop, if something is of 20 rupees, you give 4 tokens, 5 into 4 is 20. You have given 5 token money, and then you can get whatever you want, whatever is available for it within 20 rupees.
But the token currency resulted as a failure because of the shortage of gold and silver in the entire.
That was later on. He noticed that
Auntie, people used to make the fake coins at their home. Fake.
But why, beta? That is
Because they wanted to have more tokens.
beta, the two things that he did was he realized that silver come here. So one, what is less is, and we need more and more, so have happy trading and people buying power should increase. So what he did was that he introduced a cheaper metal which was abundantly available. Copper and brass. The value of copper and brass is definitely lower than silver. But he got those coins made and he said they are of equal value. Imagine a silver precious metal more precious than your gold, copper and brass. He introduces the concept that all of them have equal value. So a silver coin is as valuable as your brass and copper. Secondly, instead of the royal insignia and instead of the complicated design on gold and silver, he introduced the concept of a silver, brass and copper coin, which was very plain and simple. Now when there is no specific design, everybody in their houses had these mints. Mints are the places where you make the coins. जिसको हिंदी में हम शायद टकसाल कहते हैं. So every house started minting coins because it was so cheap. You had brass and copper, you could sit and make those coins. It's simple, no complicated design. So lots of people had. So fine, in your kingdom, they are able to exchange. But then, if you have to trade from outside kingdoms, they will not take your brass and copper coins because they understand that this is not the value. You give me gold and silver. Now, people went back to him. They said, where's the gold and silver coins? Because we can't trade outside. If we can't trade, we don't have the money, we can't pay you taxes. So he said, fine enough. You take it from my treasury. Exchange all of them. So what do we do with the brass and copper coins? You make a pile over here. So there was a time, the historians say, that there were piles and piles of brass and copper coins in the kingdom, which he didn't know what to do with. Now these coins had become useless. So, and then eventually, for that, to settle the empty treasury, what he did was, he looked around and he saw that there was that fertile region of northern plains. He levies the double tax on them. He will be able to take taxes from them. Unfortunately, that very year, no rains, nothing. So nobody is able to pay you taxes because you have done it at the wrong time. You wanted to fill your coffers or your treasury again, but now it can't happen because the farmers are not able to grow that kind of crops. So eventually it is all backfiring one after the other. It is backfiring on him whenever he's taking a chance and trying to move ahead to settle his kingdom. It is all backfiring.
Auntie, because of these changes, this made him very unpopular.
Very unpopular, and yet he is ruling for 27 years. Again, he said, अच्छा, once and for all, हम Mongols का issue खत्म करते हैं. So what I'll do is, I'll pay my army full annually. That means entire year के लिए for 12 months, I have paid them the salary. And now let's march. Without realizing that Mongols are across your high mountains. Your army has been able to fight in the plains. They are not used to that kind of cold weather. They are not even used to traveling or traversing over the let's say wild terrain. How can a person who's not moved out of the AC or the bedroom, I'm just giving a modern day example, be able to, let's say, trek on the mountains? You can't. Same was happening with his army. The soldiers were unable to. They said, no more. We can't go beyond this. Why? Because we are not used to this kind of cold. We are not equipped. We are not prepared with to fight against this cold. And climbing these mountains, such rough terrain. No.
Auntie, they had a habit of living in comforts.
They were used to walking around or moving on the plains. They said, we can't go beyond this. So he says, okay. He brought them all back home. But he had already paid 1 year's salary, which had gone from the treasury. So most of the time the treasury was suffering. Why? Because his decisions were so wild. And that is why he was able to earn himself the title of a wise fool. Okay, now is there anything which you have not understood under the two Tughlaq rulers till we move on to the next? Is there anything?
Administration in his empire led to internal aggressions also.
And why was that so? Why do you think? The statement states that his administration led to internal aggression. The answer is coming out from here itself, beta. The farmers are unable to pay. At the time they want help from the royal treasury is the time when the royal treasury is demanding double. Their protests also. Why? Because all the things are resulting in an empty treasury which is actually being forced upon them to fill. So that is why there was a lot of aggression internally. Alright, can we close down right now? Thank you.